we got a new USFL promo. So as I mentioned, we've been seeing new promos. So this would be the 6th promo to date. We have 5 10-second promos. Yes, 5 10-second promos.
I think that's right.
And then this is the first 30-second promo. So here's what I want to do, Zach. Here's what I want to do. I want to actually air the promo real quick.
Okay.
Just let the fans, just in case you've been living under a rock, you didn't watch it yet, tune in. So we're going to switch over to that right now. We'll be right back.
Listen, guys, our numbers are down. I am really concerned with that.
We had that meeting on Tuesday, and again, I'm sorry to say, it was still...
Yeah, I'll take the red snapper, 37-on-2.
We're going to go goal line. Do the X39, 3 disaster.
Tonight's special is going to be an oven-baked salmon and a 32 sweep reverse with the X disaster.
You're going to get steak, right?
Yeah. Need more football? USFL launches this April.
Dude, so, I mean, that was pretty flippin' awesome. Like I said, first 30-second promo on Fox during the NFC Championship. Now, there's a couple interesting things going on here. So first, we have the guy, it looks like he's in a business meeting. He starts daydreaming, kind of like you and I do probably when we're out doing boring things, maybe going to have dinner with the wife and, whatever. She can't hear me anyway, so I'm lucky. Hopefully I don't listen to this one. So anyway, this guy, he starts daydreaming about football. Now, if you ask me, the coolest part's when they get to the kitchen. Am I right?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a few reasons why when you see the kitchen shot and the chefs turning into, football players, and then you see the Gamblers logo on the helmet and the jerseys. And what was even better is that the Twitter account for the Gamblers said jerseys with the eyeball emoji. Now, sure, you can take it as you will, but does that not imply that that's what the design technically will look like? At least the away design, it looks like an away design. It doesn't look like a home design. At least sans a few logos maybe on there, like the league's logo or maybe a captain's patch if they do something like that. The whole ad was, it's the best production to date. Like, there's no questioning about it. Like, they've only had the 10-second ads that have been teaser pop type of stuff. But like the best part about it was you didn't know it was a football ad until you got way through. And I sat there watching the championships. This is my experience with it. I'll just go. I'm with my mom. My dad goes to the bathroom. He's been waiting all day to see us because I've been hyping him up about the promo. I'm not joking. I'm like, there's going to be a promo today. It's going to play. It's going to be a new thing. You got to watch. He goes to the restroom. Sure enough, comes on. I'm thinking this is like some banking ad or whatever because it's in a restaurant. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll have the steak or something. Right. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the cue cards. And then you're like, oh boy, this has to be it. And it clicks. Restaurant, which was the name that was dropped, hinted to us by the source that we referenced on our Twitter feed.
That's why you should be checking in us out all the time.
Which you should. USFL Newsroom, at least you should be following that one to get that drop and hear about it. But we were hinted that, and that's the implication. It's because it's a restaurant-themed ad. It was good.
I loved it. Now, it is interesting. So this reminds me of one of those first early promos where we got a shot of the ball. And again, at the time, people were saying, is that going to be the game ball? Is that a mock-up? And again, after the event, the big week in Birmingham, where they had those same, again, prototype balls, seemingly confirms it. Now, this could be kind of some A/B testing, gauging the reactions of the jerseys and seeing what are the things people like, what are the things that people don't like to maybe make those adjustments. But I think more or less that's what we're going to get, and especially because of what you mentioned. Had the Gamblers account not acknowledged it at all, maybe not.
Sure.
Since they acknowledged it, I'm going to say there's probably something there. It's not the final. There's no manufacturer. There's none of that. But it's definitely a mock-up of a representation of what we're going to see or something close to it.
Okay, big question here because this came up when that promo dropped too. Do you want the original OG Gambler stripes on the helmet? Because the way that they had it, it was a fully black helmet, no extra things besides the classic G with the Texas logo in the middle. Do you want, like, if you look back right now and you go and look at type up 1984 Jim Kelly USFL, you look at that photo and his helmet it's a red stripe in the middle with 2 white stripes on the outside.
Right.
That's the look. The other one looked plain Jane. I like the one from the 80s. If I were to be
I'm with
like,
you.
if I were getting fan feedback, I'd be like, yeah, if you can add that back, that would look nicer. It actually looks better as a uniform because that looks almost too plain.
I'm with you there. But I like extra jazz and what do they call it? They're in that movie Office Space with the you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we're gonna lose.
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I'm
Darn
talking about at home. The character, the stuff, the things that you put on you. I like that. Oh, not pizzazz. I was so close. Anyway,
I mean,
flair,
it isn't really.
flair.
It isn't.
It's flair.
Flair.
I like
Flair.
the flair. So sign us up. Hey, if you guys are listening over at the USFL, hey, you know what? I'll put $5 in the GoFundMe if we can get some extra stripes on those helmets. That's all.
I'll buy
say.
the tape.
Yeah,
I'll put it.
There you
We'll put
go.
it in the fund right now. We'll buy the tape for you.
Sign us up.
I like you're talking. It's probably somewhat of an early-ish mock-up. Like I think it is the base design. Again, the account essentially said along that lines itself. They didn't have to tweet anything, and it's not like there's really many people running that account right now. There's still, as of past week and a half, they're still hiring people to go down there. So, they purposely did that to add a little extra oomph to that post.
For sure.
And so that means now we have 3 helmets confirmed. I mean, I know that someone's like, but the gambler's helmet. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's me just stepping on a landmine. It was going to be confirmed, but we have 3 helmets now fully confirmed. 2 of them that are new designs. So you can do that. And we have at least 1 jersey that is semi confirmed to be part of it, whether it's a home or away, which we haven't even gotten that part is like, do we have home and away jerseys? Do we do a single one since it's a hub? We're still waiting on that.
I know. I'm excited to see that, and I'm curious to see that too, because we talked about this in an earlier episode with the amount of red, how they're going to flesh that out. So if they don't have home and away,
it's a balancing act.
It is going to be a balancing act, or some confusing games. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'll say this. So I've never been so excited for an advertisement. Even
the XFL?
Right. But,
Wow.
I mean, so when you look at this, though, we're excited. We were anticipating a promo, but we're like 2 guys out of how many? Over 50 million. 50 million people not only saw a promo for the USFL, but the first 30-second promo, the first time that maybe the jersey has been shown.
Yeah.
I mean, this is huge exposure for the league. And then I'm sure a lot of you guys out there will remember this name, Connor Folk, longtime spring football reporter. He pontificated online. He tagged a couple of the execs over at Fox and said, hey, we've seen a lot of ads. We've seen some promos during Fox. Are we going to see any on NBC? And he's specifically talking about the Super Bowl. But we did get a response. I was actually surprised.
Yeah.
Robert Gottlieb, EVP of marketing over there at Fox Sports, he responded essentially saying, stay tuned this Sunday to the Clash at the Coliseum, the NASCAR racing event. Now, to me, that's huge because we're doing a couple things. One, we're deviating out of football. We're hitting a whole new market here, right? This is good. I mean, yes, there's a lot of overlap between football and NASCAR. Don't get me wrong. There is people that watch NASCAR that don't watch football or don't regularly watch it, or for whatever reason that are going to see this promo. Maybe it's a way to bring them back. Maybe it's a young kid. I mean, looking at why the CFL isn't as successful as the NFL now in their home country, it's all because they don't target the youth, right? And not to say
it's definitely one of the arguments to that point.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's 100%,
say.
but it's a big part of it, I would say. Now, NASCAR, to me, there are a lot of children that watch it. It's kind of like the groups like me and children. I look at it like professional wrestling, where you have kind of like
just about to say that,
and kids. That's it.
That is the exact vibe anymore. I get is like you get that middle group or the young ones coming in because the cars.
Right. So I mean, this is a great opportunity for them. And again, this is a big race. I mean, I like NASCAR. I don't tune into every race. This was one I was already planning on tuning into just for the wackiness of the Coliseum. A quarter-mile track, dude. Quarter-mile track. I mean, I gotta watch that. I like where somebody brought this up online. I wish I knew so I could credit them, but somebody posted in the comment on Twitter where are they gonna put the pit stops. Like,
right.
Now I am super curious to see how this is laid out because that's a tight area, man.
I have looked so much into this event because I'm one of those people that I used to love NASCAR more than I do now. I'm actually getting more into it because of stuff like this. The Clash is getting a lot of hype, and Fox is pumping this thing up. If it is on a regular basis right now, any NFL related, sports related content, they are putting promos in like crazy. And this is coming from a guy that works at a TV station and helps manage Fox stations. They are pumping this thing the hell up. So they want people in. How many people it gets, I don't know, but it's a unique event. It's the first NASCAR event in a while, so you can argue that it'll get that early season viewership, not Daytona viewership. That's a completely different story. But the curiosity that people have, I think, just to see what this thing is, because it's built in a football coliseum. Right. They basically took asphalt. They went around it in rings, covered the entire infield in asphalt, painted it, and said, oh yeah, we got a NASCAR track in here, and we're going to run it like dirt track heat races. I know this isn't even football related, but that's the deal. Right. The curiosity aspect of this is what's going to bring people in. For sure. So this is the part I'm asking now is, damn, we're getting a new ad then too? So are we getting another 30-second?
Speculation zone.
Speculation zone, baby. So, here we go.
Yes.
Revving the engine.
Are we going to get a new ad? I mean, I will say this. I think so. And I only think so because we got one of the Fox executives kind of hinting us towards, hey, you should watch this. Maybe we will see the same ones. So there's no guarantee here. But if I had to guess, I would say yes. Now, what do you think? New one or not?
Ooh, I'm leaning towards that they will. I'm going to lean towards that they are going to do it. Just because of the way that it was implied. I'm going back to Connor Folk, kind of trying to get some info on there, which, by the way, Connor, if you listen in, glad to see you back on and getting it and asking around again. Cause you loved having you on the XFL times back in 2020. Just the way that, okay, here it is. I had to pull it up while I'm talking to you. Mm-hmm. So Robert's exact words are this, Robert Gottlieb, I'm going to say that if I said that wrong, I will correct it.
That's the theme of the day, I guess.
NBC Sports, this is him. NBC Sports is as excited about the USFL as we are. Stay tuned. Also, you may want to tune into NASCAR Clash at the LA Coliseum. May want to tune in. I don't know. I think that wording says, hey, something might be there that you'll be curious about. Okay, if they play the restaurant again, cool. Like I think I'm almost expecting it. It's Fox's next big thing besides Daytona, right? That they'll want to start pumping up. I think the wording to me, and speculation zone still, that makes me think, okay, I'm going to get something new. I'm getting vibes that there is something here that I should be watching for. And honestly, it's going to be us going to be asking people, hey, is there something we should be watching? Exactly. Because that's going to probably happen after we're done recording.
For sure. And, so stay tuned because you may learn the answer. You may even learn the answer before this episode airs. But stay tuned if you don't because we'll hopefully get the skinny. We got the skinny last week. We'll hopefully try to get the skinny this week. Mm-hmm. Now, if it is a new promo, this is my thoughts. This is my speculation. Okay. I think, there's no going back from here. I think now that you got the 30-second promo, if it is a new one, I'm banking on another 30-second promo. But then, again, speculation zone, I don't know anything. It could easily be a 10-second promo. And quite honestly, I could see them rerunning a restaurant again. And we might even see both, right?
Sure.
But I'm curious.
I think they need to run the restaurant one more as they lead up. So, the Clash will be perfect time if you want to start revving it up. Like you got the promo 10 seconds, and the way this works, generally in rundowns for TV, I'm just adding this on again. This is my experience with how they lay out the ads. They'll do a bunch of the national ads and they'll generally throw in a few promos at the end of each ad break. Right. So the hope is they start cycling a few 10 seconds in there, maybe at the midway point of the race. This is going to be a weirder version because they're doing heats. It's not a straight 3-stage race like in NASCAR.
I see.
So the hope is maybe midway point or the back half of it like they did with the NFC Championship game. they drop in the new one or drop in something that implies something new, along that line. That's the hope.
Yeah. I was actually surprised we only did get, I guess we got 2 promos technically in that last game, but it was like the third quarter, right? Until we got the new one. There was a 1 second. There was a 1 second promo right before halftime. And I almost think that was probably due to, how sometimes the commercials overlap depending on the markets. It was probably something like that. So I don't know. But I know this. I was already planning on tuning in this Sunday, 6:00 to the Clash at the Coliseum. If you're interested, in NASCAR, you should be tuning in anyway, but if you're interested in seeing maybe a new USFL promo, tune in. You might get that. You might just get the same one as that you already had. So don't bank on that. I will say this, we will have an article about it, and if not, we'll be talking about it next week on the show. So another good reason to tune in every week, right?
Can we touch on it, Robert's first part of that whole thing? NBC Sports is excited about the USFL as we are. So I don't know, more speculation zone technically, but that Super Bowl guess of a promo does seem a little more logical when you have a guy still going, hey, they're excited. They're still planning on pumping this thing. Like we talked about in a previous show, the Chiron has it now, so they're doing stuff. The Olympics are coming up as of actually today. They're
on. I've been watching that curling, baby.
So yeah, exactly. I've been seeing you posted about that curling. So they're going not saying they'll pump it in the Olympics, but Super Bowl is kind of around the corner. Next biggest event. Robert's connected.
I think so.
I think that the speculation zone's slowly for that fading into it's going to be a reality. Question is, when, where, and what is it? How big is it?
Are we going to get a 10-second? Are we going to get a 30-second? I've thought this since the beginning. I think we'll get one for sure. Again, going back, this is my logic here. The XFL got one. Yes, that makes sense. The XFL was kind of a big deal. The AAF got one. If the AAF got one and the XFL got one, and for crying out loud, they're doing a simulcast on Fox and NBC, I will be amazed if the USFL doesn't get one during the Super Bowl.
Do you remember we almost got a Marshawn Lynch AAF commercial, that whole story after the fact where it's like the whole I think it was like 2,500 quarters or something like that. Or was it 25,000 quarters? Whatever amount of quarters he was offering. That story is still ingrained in my mind. Like every now and then I go back to it. I go, wow, of Super Bowl ads for spring leagues, we almost had that. And the demands were insane. And now we're here.
Right. Right.
And I agree. Like if the AAF with its we're hobbling along money self behind the scenes can get us an ad on a network as well. How are you not at this point? Again,
I'll be surprised.
I just have to reemphasize it. It's brought up. Robert's connected. He's obviously a Fox. They're NBC and them are talking in a pretty good collaborative mentions, if you will. It's getting there. The speculations are slowly starting to creep out of there.
I'm feeling it, and
just
it's feeling good.
The official thing.